Oh, you already know, guys. You guys already know. The danger zone just got a lot colder here in the ice bar. Y'all, welcome to another episode of Iceman Chill It Out, Season 2, episode number 7. 7. There we
Good number.
go. Let's
Number,
go.
number.
Let's go. And you know if I'm playing this, y'all already know she needs no introduction. Well, okay, I'm capping a little bit, but y'all show your love for Miss Lana Kane, everybody.
Wow.
Look at the danger zone and the ninja rap.
Oh, get it. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Let's go.
Get
Let's
it.
go.
Get it. Get it. Go to hat. Go to hat. Yes. Yes.
Oh man, I'm feeling all the love and everything here. What is going on, guys? What is going on? How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? I don't want to delay y'all any further. I got the lovely and awesome and talented Miss Lana Kane here. Before we get started, y'all already know.
The blacks.
Yup. Miss Lana, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Let everybody know who Lana Kane is and all that.
I would love to. Hello, everybody. My name is Lana Kane. You can call me Lana. You can call me Kane. Just don't call me out of my name. And I am the DJ Queen of the Danger Zone. I am so happy to be here with you, Iceman, in the Ice Cave. Let's go.
Man, it is an honor and a privilege to have you here, my friend. Man, fresh off a successful Juneteenth raid train. Incredible. Incredible. I would play the Ride That Train thing, but unfortunately I can't get the thing to work on my soundboard, unfortunately. But it's all good.
It's all good. We're good. We know what we mean.
Yes.
We're good.
Yes.
We're good.
So, Miss Lana, let's get right to business, shall we? For starters,
Yes.
what got you into streaming? We'll just start there.
Yeah, of course. So I have always in some way or form wanted to be on YouTube, which I'm sure a lot of us have that in us. But I guess essentially what it was that kind of pushed the door open to me doing it is I kind of was I was kind of going through a tough phase in life, as life be lifing, these things happen. And essentially, my life had put me in a position where I had the time and availability to just do it. I'll be honest with you. When I started doing it, even though I knew where I wanted to end, I had no idea what I was getting into when I hit start stream, when I hit press play. But my God, what an amazing year. Just hit a year that it has been, and I love it. I love streaming. I love community. I love finding my people. I love having fun. I love being my true authentic self. And so hi, I'm friend. And so
what's happening? What is happening?
What is happening? So if essentially it's something I've always wanted to do, but we just finally decided to do it last year. So yeah, yes.
So today, so it's your 1 year anniversary?
So I hit my 1 year anniversary actually on the 19th or the 20th. So the first day of the Juneteenth rage train was actually my anniversary.
Hey, y'all gotta clap for Lana for that. 1 year in the game, and she's already killing it. Y'all see that? Hey, it's hard. It's really hard, to stay, to be able to stay on streaming for a year, with all the stress and everything that comes along with it. But if you can I'll be honest, if you can make it through a year, 2 years, 3 years, it gets easier. To me, it does. But yes.
No, I agree.
But yes, I agree. Sorry, this is important, but I have to say hi to the queen. Fun and vibing. As Lana Kane said, you are important, and everybody is important.
Yes.
No matter if you're a viewer, a streamer, a mod, VIP, that doesn't matter. We're all equally important. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Man, so as I said earlier, Lana, the raid train, brought bringing everybody together, and for certain people, myself included, it brought a lot of first. And by the way, during that question of the stream, I forgot to turn that off before I went live. But anyway, it brought a lot of first, and it brought a lot of successes. Like if those that are following me on Twitter saw that on my raid train slot, thanks to that, for the first time ever, broke over I broke over 1,000 views post stream. So y'all gotta clap for that. But that's not the important. Despite that, that's not the important part. The important part is Lana bringing everybody together. I mean, I met a lot of new people. I met a lot of awesome people. People. If I can English correctly. Baker, by the way, my anime bro, my Street Fighter bro. What's happening? By the way, Baker, if you want to put a Street Fighter later today, let me know. But anyway,
Baker.
Yes, we love Baker around here. My anime brother. I'll go ahead and give you a shout out as my mods I think are not here or traveling at the moment.
Yes, it is the holiday weekend.
It is the holiday weekend, right? But Lana, I gotta say, you inspired a lot of people, creating that raid train. And when we were talking prior to us going live, you said, you wanted to see more of this, more people do like their own rendition of the raid and everything. So for starters, what gave you the idea of creating, this raid train event?
Yeah, no, sorry, my niecey just came in the chat. I love Taylor Garnet. I love
yes,
her.
Yes,
So
Miss
sorry.
Garnet. What is going on, my friend?
Her.
Yes, we love her too. And if y'all haven't seen her cosplays, go check her out.
Top tier.
And by the way, her Persona cosplays. I mean, I'm saying just because I'm a Persona, I love Persona. If you guys have been around in my earlier days, Persona 5 Royal. I'll just leave it at that. But sorry, continue.
No,
Lana.
you're good. No, you're good. No, yeah. So what I was saying is that I don't want for well, I'm sorry. Just to make sure, you asked the question is why I decided to do the raid train or what we were talking about beforehand, just so I'm clear. So make sure sometimes my neurodivergent brain gets the best of me.
I'm neurodivergent too, so I totally understand. It's both. You could like we talked about before, and then anything else you want to add to that.
Yeah. Okay, so making the raid train, I'll tell you right now, I can actually tell you the canon event that essentially made it happen. And I won't get into too much detail about it because I don't want to necessarily make it like a thing, but I just want to give some what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if clarity or transparency, that's the word, transparency.
Transparency, yeah.
So I was participating in a raid train. This is back when I first started. I was like my second or third raid train. And the person was asking for people to suggest people. And so, this is during a stream. So somebody suggested somebody and that person said, great, love them. Another person suggested somebody, said, wonderful, love them. And then I suggested someone. And the response to what I said was so off-putting and made me so disappointed. It kind of shone a light on something that, I think as Black creators, we can't necessarily say out loud because there's no proof. Or there's really not any structure behind it, but it certainly makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, is this possibly happening because of what I'm interested in, what I like to do, my circles? And, then I said, you know what? If I'm having that thought process, whether that is true or not, that's a problem. Because this is a space that I love to be in. And if I'm having that thought without any evidence, then I'm probably not the only person that's had that thought. And I wanted to essentially make spaces where we don't have to have those thoughts and to allow people to meet other people who are Black or not that also don't think that way, because we are a huge community, and we deserve to not feel that way in any spaces we're in, especially this Twitch space that I think we all have so much love for. I feel like we've really found ourselves in this space. I feel like we've really, found our people, our community. And so that was the biggest reason why I said, you know what, I want to do this. I want to uplift some wonderful, excellent Black creators that I think deserve the spotlight. I want to uplift some wonderful, talented Black creators that I know are great, and also some that have not been a part of a rate train, whether that's because they don't have the numbers that they think they do, or whether no one's approached them because they just don't know about them. And also just to create a space where we can have fun, just being our authentic selves. And, I think also how it's okay to be Black and be a nerd and like anime and like video games and like cosplay and like to learn Japanese, learn different languages, travel the world, hike. Like we're not this box of like what people think we are, ourselves included. And so that's why I was like, no, we got to make this happen. We got to make this happen. And so I got together with my mods. Shout out to Admiral Bussy, who specifically was the biggest ally to saying like, you can do this. Because I was afraid. I was afraid till the minute we started. I was afraid because I'm not a big streamer, and who am I? And I wanted to make sure that everyone really felt that love. And so it was important to me that everyone included had that and felt like this wasn't a waste of their time or they were overlooked. Like I wanted it to be so good. And it was great. And not only did we do it, but like I've been in several raid trains. We had no issues. We had no problems, no cancellations, no internet connection issues. We did that. And it gets me excited and emotional just talking about it right now.
Let it all out. Let it all out. You're in a safe space here. Let all that emotion out. Let it all out, Lana.
And hi guys, I see your wonderful messages.
MQ,
I'm sorry,
yes.
y'all know when I start talking, I be going.
Hey, that's what it's all about here. Hey, what you with the air horn hype? You already know. I'm sorry, but keep going.
No, all the hype. Seriously, I love you guys. MQ, Garnet, Witchy, Iceman. Like I love that. Wow. Okay, it really was just like to see like Garnet hit 1K, Honey Bear hit 1K. I hit 1.5. Iceman hit numbers he's never had before. Iceman had one of the biggest raids of the raid train. This is something that I, finding my people, finding my community, and truly being my authentic Black self the way that I am has been something I wanted to do since I was a little girl. So to be able to do it and it to be successful and me be a nobody, it just, it makes me so happy. Garnet, Lana, don't make me cry on stream.
Lana, let me tell you something. To a lot of us, you're far from a nobody. You're I would say you're even more than somebody. You're something special, and I'm getting emotional.
No, we're all getting emotional. Stop. Because if you cry, I'm gonna cry because I'm a sympathetic crier too.
Oh man. And for what you've done, like for not just the Black community, but for all of our community in general, that says a lot about you, a lot about what you mean for us, your character. We really, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but really, really appreciate what you've done for us, like for real.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I really do, and I appreciate you guys trusting me, with your audiences, because a lot of you guys, this was your first thing. This was your first raid train ever, participant wise, and this was my first time running an event like this. A lot of people don't know, and maybe this kind of showed a little bit. I do have a marketing and design background. That is my day job. So I've run a couple of events. I've done marketing and graphic design for years, and everything that was designed, I did. Like I wanted y'all to love every piece of artwork and anything that y'all got and feel proud to like post that. I can't wait to give you guys these shirts with like this fire, logo on it that like only you 30 people like get to be a part of, like the first one. And I say all that to say, like, because I know we talked about this before stream, like, please don't if you want to do a rate trade that's like this, that is exactly like this, that is different but similar to this, do it. I did not claim the monopoly on this. This is not just my event. We as Black people, anybody that's part of a minority, we need multiple options to do stuff, to show our skills. Like we want to be like, dang, I'm part of this one and this one and this one, and oh my God, we got this one. We want to flourish that. And so like, if you want to do something like this, please do your own cookout, do your own, whatever version of that is. Maybe you want to do something specifically for cosplayers. Maybe you want to do something specifically for musicians. Maybe you just want to do the exact same thing, but like you just want to do it for me. That's fine. Like, this is not my thing. This is our thing. And that would be my biggest takeaway, is just to go for it. Like, and it doesn't have to be 3 days, it doesn't have to be a week, it can be a day, it could be an hour. Like, just go for it, because if you have the right people behind you and if you really want to make it happen, I promise you, like, it will. It will. Hi, Abyss.
What's going on, man? That was gonna be my next question. But hey, best advice you could give. That is probably, wow. That might be, this is something that's probably something I'm gonna remember for a very long time. As long as we're all on this platform, you know what I'm saying?
Good.
Wow. So my next question would be, I know you mentioned earlier you're neurodivergent as a fellow neurodivergent. I can't English today.
Neurodivergent things, right?
Right. As someone who's a fellow neurodivergent, I know there's a lot of challenges that we all kind of went through growing up. What would you say would be probably the biggest challenge you overcame, being not trying to put a label, but being in neurodivergent? What's probably the biggest challenge you've overcome? Can be outside of streaming, in streaming.
No, yeah, absolutely. 100%. So just for clarity, my form of neurodivergency is I have ADHD. I've had it probably my entire life. And so if I had to say what my biggest challenge with it is that I've had it my entire life, and I didn't choose to actually get diagnosed and like deal with it and like learn to like make it my superpower until maybe 2 years ago. And so and I talked about this a little bit during the mental health rate train I was a part of. Knowing what your thing is, whatever it may be, gives you power, because it stops people from saying you're being dramatic, you're overthinking, you can't, like, you're not this, you're not that. It allows you to also find ways to make it work for you in your daily life. So like when I was growing up, I have the worst time blindness and forgetfulness of all eternity. It's terrible. It's awful. I'm working on it till this day. I'll probably be working on it my entire life, but I have extremely bad time blindness and forgetfulness. Now, here's my thing. I'm not trying to use it as an excuse. I want that to be very clear. But for those of you who maybe have kids or plan to have children, I learned when I was 30 that this was happening with me. I really wish that I learned these things growing up so that I could have the skills and the tools to manage my life better and more efficiently when I was younger. So I didn't feel so lost and like scared and confused and frustrated in my adulthood. And part of that, unfortunately, was because of the bad preconceived notions of having ADHD or ADD. Like, my parents, bless their heart, they're great, but I remember them saying, "Oh, do you have it? Like, do you have it?" Like, and me being like, "No, like that's not true. Like, it's not." And like, "Yeah, bitch, yes I do." Like, "Oh my god, like I can't focus. I talk a mile a minute. I don't get back to things like other people do. I don't remember things. It's not at a point where it's like, "Oh, you're just forgetful. Oh, you're just this." No, it was something that genuinely was affecting my everyday day-to-day life. Hi EJ. Um and it was really hard to tell that to people without having my diagnosis on behind me, because I was just whining. I was just not being good enough. I was just lazy. I had to be better. And people didn't realize I was doing everything I could on my end to be the best version of me. Um and there was shame in it, and it was hard, especially since I was a naturally bright child. So I think it seemed like I didn't need help, but I needed all the help. I still need all the help. And so yeah,
I'm the
I would
same
say
way.
definitely, you know what I mean? Like it's hard. And I think people just think naturally as you grow into adulthood that those things just, mature and you learn to handle it. And it is a daily battle. I use several systems. I am on a couple medications to help me be a better, more efficient person. I have several notebooks. I have a lot of digital notebooks. I have voice memos. I have people I legitimately tell me things at a certain time just in case, so I don't forget things. I have timers set all throughout my day to keep me on track for my schedule so I don't miss things. And here's the other part of it. I have to put as much of it into my work, my job that pays my bills as possible. So of course things fall off of my everyday life. And it's frustrating. And a lot of people probably think that I'm, being dramatic. And I've just learned to lean into the fact, like, who cares? Because I know what works for me and I got to do what's best for me. And I also love the ADHD part of me because it's also why I'm so creative. And it's also why I think the way that I do. And it's also why my brain is moving so fast and I come up with the ideas that I do. And I have the big brain thoughts that I do. So yeah, I would say it's probably a combination of all of that.
Wow. That. Wow. You know, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that. There's a there's a lot of things. That us that I even. So for those that don't know, I'm pushing 40 here. Although I don't look like it, like some people will
You
say.
don't. You don't.
Hey, that's the power.
Slay.
That's the power of water. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's beside the point. Uh, Thanks for sharing this because it helps eliminate the stigma. What's going on, Saki?
Oh,
And yeah,
Saki-sama.
yes, we love Saki around here, and I totally agree. Even at my age, I still need a lot. I still need some help. There's some things that like even there are times where I'll forget to write. I'll forget. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Why did I need to do this and everything? And I have to be, even though yes, and like you said, it's very irritating and it's a challenge, but it's for us, it's a necessity because
Yes.
our brains operate at like 500 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like it's very easy to we have like so you know how people have like short term memory. So we're like that, but like it's more. What's the word I want to use? It's more
The term that my therapist says is we're lily patters. So we'll
basically.
have an idea. And so let's say you're like, Lana, let's go to the grocery store. And I go, oh, I love the grocery store. Let's go to the grocery store. What do I want for dinner tonight? Oh my God, I totally want Japanese food. Okay, Japanese food. Let's get some edamame. Oh my God, I forgot that this person loves edamame. Oh my God, that person's birthday is next week. What am I gonna do when their birthday is next week? I don't have any money to be able to do this.
Yes,
Oh my God, I left my credit card. And
exactly.
it's just going and going and going and going and going
Right.
it's exhausting.
It
It
is.
is
It
exhausting.
definitely is. It's like on some of the shows, like how they're trying to piece the crumb, just like all these dots and everything. That's
Yes.
basically how our minds work. That's a perfect analogy. That's how our minds work. but like it sounds like you're able to manage it like incredibly well and everything.
No, I do.
No.
I do.
What?
I really do want to. Because I want to be like so. I want to put transparency here. I'm managing it the best way that I can. It is when I say it's a daily struggle, it is a daily struggle. And specifically for women, our version of neurodivergency is very different than it is for men, because women naturally, because of a lot of societal things and because of just the way that things work, we're maskers and we are reflectors. And so that's actually a big reason why most women don't find out later in life that they may or may not have autism or have autistic features or or some form of neurodivergent, because we're really good at reflecting and masking what's happening around us. It's like one of the more natural survival techniques that we've just done for years because of how society's been built. And so I do my best. I naturally am a masker. I have to admit, I am definitely really good at blending in, but it is something I deal with daily. And I'm trying my best to make sure that I'm transparent and I do let people know without feeling bad that I'm being honest about what's happening with myself. Hi Kage, I love you.
We love Kage. What is going on? My brother.
I adore him.
Man, I'm sorry, but y'all know how much we love Kage around here. You know how much he inspires each of us. Also, we got me and Kage, we got something a little special planned. Y'all, but I'm sorry, I can't go any more detail than that, but y'all gonna see coming up. Also, GB, hello. I saw your thing earlier. I apologize.
GB.
But sorry, Lana, I cut you off there, but go ahead and continue.
No, you're totally fine. By the way, hi bestie. That's my bestie in chat. EJ in a while. That's my bestie.
Oh snap.
No, we're maskers, but also because of that, the studies when it comes to male people who are neurodivergent and female people that are neurodivergent, it's a completely different timeline. Like a lot of studies for men goes back for centuries, and for women it's like decades at best. So we really are learning things in live time and also figuring out, how deep and how far things may or may not come. So oh my god, no, I refuse. Get the musty mommy summer out of here. That's my Twitch son coming in on chaos mode. That's my Twitch son coming on
That's a new one for me.
That's Kage's theme for the summer. I will not stand by it. I refuse.
This is why we love Kage. This is why we love Kage, everybody. Not y'all see how much wholesome. Okay, if y'all go to his streams, y'all know how wholesome he is, right? And also, so I gotta say something. That forehead.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Damn.
You could. So I'm gonna. Y'all know in a persona, whenever someone's about to do like a critical hit, it'll show like a cut in of their forehead and everything. Put Kage's forehead on that. So like when he's about to say something, when he's about to he's about to come up with a big joke, it'll do that ding, and it's on Kage's forehead.
Kage, run, Kage! That's shots fired.
That would be so perfect. But hey, Kage, I love we love you, man. We love you, bro.
I do love you.
Hey, we love you. We wouldn't. Hey, we wouldn't say we wouldn't love you if we're not clowning on you, right? I mean. No. But anyway. Okay. I'm sorry.
Mental
Oh, this is going on.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
this is going on.
I love my people. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love my people.
Oh shit.
Not withered leaf with the sausage crust.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we just died here in the ice bar.
Hold on, I need some smelling salts off that. I need some smelling salts on that.
Oh god. I hope somebody clipped that.
Oh my God.
This is going on YouTube. As a matter of fact, dang it. Why y'all do this to me, man?
Oh, Jesus, Lord.
I see, I did it to myself. But anyway,
okay, we good. We good. We good.
Y'all, this is gonna be up on YouTube in a couple of weeks. But if y'all want to watch it again, but anyway, oh man, woo, best podcast ever. Best podcast ever. Let me catch up with the chat here. Why? Silverstone, happy Sunday to you, my friend. And thank you for the lurk. And let me give you a shout out real quick. I'm really getting a pedicure, but all right. I'm just watching this 3 times. Oh, yo, Key.
Hi, Key.
We love my boy. I'm just Key. What's happening? Y'all show him all the love, everybody. Oh man. Woo.
That's hilarious.
That was fun. That was funny as shit.
Kind of like I just came in to say what's up, but I bet. I was kidding. No. All right, but no. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
All right. So, I know you are a huge fan of JRPGs like myself, which is how we connected. I gotta say, I never had a pedicure, but a manicure slap.
Facts. Facts.
But also, Key is honored to have you here with us today. Y'all ain't follow
Always.
Key. Y'all check him out on Twitch. I know he also streams on YouTube as well. I believe he also streams on Kick. I could be wrong on that. I did it backwards. Which one is the foot? Oh man.
That's a pedicure. Oh my God.
Pedicure is the foot. Manicure is the hand. Don't ask why I know that. I just know it. All right.
Don't worry, Kage. I got you next time. I'll be your bodyguard too. I'll be your bodyguard too.
Straight. All right. Whew. Back on track here.
I got you.
All right. What got you? Actually, this is gonna be two parts.
Okay.
First part? What got you into JRPGs?
Okay, so I know another canon event that I can remember specifically. By the way, I'm totally a big fan of Key. Just put that out there.
Oh yes.
So
Same here.
I used to live in a duplex, right? So I was upstairs, and then my neighbors downstairs used to be this girl, who I used to be like really good friends with, and her mom had a boyfriend that used to game, but like, he like never played them. So I think me and the girl, her name was Asia. I used to dance. So we were both in like dance school together. We used to do like jazz, tap, whatever, a lot of ballet. And one day she said, "Hey, go look in this case for a CD so we can make up a step." And I was like, "Bet," because that's what we used to do for fun. Before TikTok, we used to just make up steps in the basement. Like that's what we used to do for fun, right? So I go to get this a CD, and I see this fine looking Japanese man named Squall on the cover of this Black Label Final Fantasy VIII disc. And I was like, well, what is this? I was like 8 at the time, by the way. And I like open it up and I'm like, oh, it's like 4 discs. Like at that time I had a PlayStation and I've been gaming for a long time. But at that point, like I was playing like Spyro, like Bust a Groove, like Tekken. I was in my Tekken era. Like my Tekken era started when I was like 6, so I was like deep in my Tekken era. And so like I specifically got the PlayStation 1 so I could play Tekken 1 or Tekken 3. And so when I saw this, I was like, well, this ain't Tekken, but I'm gonna pop this in and see what I get. And I just remember putting it in my PlayStation and watching that intro, and it was like everything went white and feathers went by me. Like I was in the cutscene. I was in the cutscene. I wasn't watching it. I was in the field. Like, what And you know, in the background, that very dramatic opera, Mythos, like that's playing, and like they're like going, and I was like, what is this? And I remember because my mom was like, because you used to be able to do this back in the day because it was like safer. I had been playing the game for at least 12 hours. And my mom legit was like, go. She was like, go the hell outside. I was 8 years old. My mom was like, go the hell outside. You gotta go. Like, you gotta go touch grass. And ever since then, I have loved JRPGs. And I think that's why Final Fantasy VIII has such a huge place in my heart, because that was my introduction. And I didn't understand anything about that world. Like, nothing. And Final Fantasy VIII is not really like a beginner user-friendly game in comparison to some other Final Fantasies. And I had it. I was junctioning. I was reading. I went out the next day and I got me a guidebook. Like that, my world was just like Final Fantasy. Let's go. And so yeah, that's where it started. And after that, I got into like, you know, there was 10, Kingdom Hearts, 12, 10-2, Star Ocean, Shadow Hearts. I mean, it's just, yeah. So yes.
Ooh, so Final Fantasy VIII. All right,
yes.
all right.
Key, please.
Junction IG at 8. No wonder you're so successful.
I'm
gonna be first to say. I'm gonna first to say that went way over my head, but.
Hi, Bussy. That's my mod.
Ah, got you. Lana that's the one okay. Just okay, bro.
No, that's okay? Normal. No, it's fine. That's how we talk to each other, because he's he's all right.
Oh, junctioned it. Ah, got you. So yeah, what would you say would probably be? You know what? I'm gonna add a little spice to this.
Ooh, bit. Okay.
Add a little spice to this. What would be what would probably be the JRPG that I want to say this respectfully. Go ahead. What would be the JRPG that really touched your senses? Oh, I guess, you know, what would be? Okay, you can name me, I guess, any 3 JRPGs that like. You're really emotionally invested. That really like.
Yeah.
Pulled the heart. I guess, you know, kind of pulled the heartstrings. Got you all. You know, you got all excited. Maybe you cried. Maybe you had a fangasm moment.
Yeah.
You know, all that.
I definitely first one is Final Fantasy VIII, because it wasn't just my first Final Fantasy. It was my first JRPG ever. Like, it just, I didn't even know games like that exist. I didn't even know that was a type of game I could play. So definitely Final Fantasy VIII. I would say after that, it's hard because I could go a couple ways, but I'm gonna say Final Fantasy X. Playing Final Fantasy X was me learning the seriousness of life and death. I know that's kind of dark, but like it really showed to me life, death, grief, you know, maturity, war, you know, hard decisions, you know, racism. Shout out to Waka. It just, the story was so. First off, I could also talk about Final Fantasy X lore, like, for days, because the lore of Spira alone is so good. Like, it's so good, and it makes me sad that we only got a small glimpse of what that world could offer with 10 and a little bit in 10-2. But like, if you ever get a chance, look up the whole lore in 10, like the Sorcerer's War, the 1,000 Years War, you know, like the time and creativity they put into like what the Aeons were. I didn't even realize what the Aeons were till like a few years ago, and like they all have backstories. You know, it really gets into, you know, the seriousness of like what you believe in religiously and what you have to believe in spiritually, and also what you have to believe in what's right with yourself. It was just wild. And I was like 11. So like to be having those thoughts at like 11, like I was like, this is crazy. And then after that, I would say Shadow Hearts 2. Shadow Hearts 2, come at me if you want to. Shadow Hearts 2 is the best non-Final Fantasy JRPG that I have ever played. Ever. Period. I won't talk spoilers. I promise you. I won't talk spoilers, Key. So I got you. Because I want you guys to enjoy it. I want for y'all to enjoy that game. Unfortunately, it came out. The release date for Shadow Hearts 2 was literally pitted up against Final Fantasy X. So it stood no chance. Mm-hmm. Like Final Fantasy X was literally the first Final Fantasy we got with speaking roles and like clear characters and like faces you could see. And so it just didn't stand a chance. And like the fact that Shadow Hearts 2, and this isn't a spoiler because Shadow Hearts 1 does this, all the Shadow Hearts games does this. The fact that they're able to intricately put in real history and actual events that are happening in a timeline we're familiar with this story of fantasy, and it works? Are you kidding me? That shit is fire, bro.
That's exact, like,
oh my
god.
Crazy. Like I remember, like, and I love history, but like for real, Shadow Hearts 2 is him. I remember like looking other history up because of that game. Like I was like, and this is like before the internet was really popping, so I would be in the library like, yo, I gotta know about the Russian oligarchy. I gotta figure out what's going on with Anastasia. Like I gotta know what's going on. Like you know what I mean? Like it just Google Key had me Googling. I was looking up maps. I was like, where are we? Like what? Like it's so underrated. It blows my mind. And then just to add another one, because I do think this one gets missed too. Once again, I won't talk spoilers. Star Ocean Till the End of Time. That, and I wasn't gonna play that because the style of Star Ocean, if you guys are familiar with me, I am definitely a gamer that prefers a little bit more realism to character design. So it's the best one, Key. And I wasn't gonna play it because it was very anime, but someone said, no, the story, just trust me on this. And I like the fighting style too, because it's turn-based combat meets like direct battle. Like it's a really good combination of both. And that story really makes you think about life, what's important, what's not, and how little time you have in this world, and how important it is that you do exactly what you want to do no matter what anyone says, because we don't know what happens after, and we don't even know what's happening during. So yeah, that's my Fire 4. Bro, Key, hit me up. Like, let's hang out.
Like Kaga said, Lana is spitting all the fire today. Pretty
I'm
soon,
a gamer, bro.
Yeah, pretty soon this ice bar is gonna melt with all the stuff all the fest that she's spitting here, all the fire that she's spitting out.
Like, people don't realize I'm a gamer. Like, I be in these games. Like, I mean, I'm definitely more of I definitely started with JRPGs and I've expanded. I'm expanding now as a gamer. Hi, Spartan, in a way that I never have.
What's happening? Mechafox. Sorry, someone redeemed my Power Ranger. Someone redeemed my Power Ranger theme. The White Ranger. By the way, rest in peace, Tommy Oliver, Jason David Frank.
Damn, I miss him. Read my previous comment about Eternal Sonata. Key. Like let's like, we're gonna have to get like I don't know if anyone's ever down like to have another panel just about talking about some good ass games and like speaking of
which, there's actually gonna be an announcement regarding that following the end of the stream. So, but I'm sorry, they're good. I mean, I'm so into that. This is probably the most I've ever been interested in my podcast. Well, not interested, but the most I've ever been. I've ever wanted to engage. But man, yo, like hearing all these stories about so many RPGs. Like, so me growing up, I was raised in a strict childhood, so I didn't get
Yes.
to game as much as I do now. So there were a lot of games that JRPGs that I never got to experience. Like, I didn't get into Final Fantasy until last year. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah.
how great is it that you're coming in now and like you just got stuff waiting for you? Like you don't gotta wait
Right.
for it to release, right? Like it's just there. For you.
Exactly. And I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 right now, which, by the way, if you haven't played it, go check it out. There's so when I was growing up, like my main JRPGs were Mario RPG, which, by the way, I actually want to ask, have you ever played that before? The original?
I haven't, but I know the remake's coming out, and I'm excited
Yes.
for y'all that are excited. I'm excited
Yes.
for y'all. I'm a Sony baby, so like I had it in 64, but like I definitely gave my life to Sony when I was like 7.
Yo, let me tell you something. I was at work, so I didn't get to watch. But that when I was on my work, bro, I was surfing through my YouTube. I was surfing through YouTube, and I saw, and there was so I heard something on Google saying that a remake was rumored. So it's a rumor, so who knows? Then I go on YouTube, on the official Nintendo YouTube, and they announced the official remake. I literally went nuts when they announced that remake. As a matter of fact, by the way, if y'all haven't followed her, go show love to Miss Megan Hertz. We love Megan.
Yes, we stand Megan.
Yes, we stand Megan around here. Her reaction was probably the equivalent of how I reacted when I heard that they announced it. Albeit a bit less maybe a bit less hype, but yes, but exactly the same reaction. And that's like Mario RPG is what really got me into JRPGs in the first place.
Hi, KJ.
And KJ, my man, how you doing? Welcome. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and since KJ is here, first of all, y'all show KJ some love, everybody. Jagoon Knight, hello, my friend. Hello. What is happening?
Hi.
But you know what? KJ, we're doing good. Since you're here, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make the announcement since he's here. And the reason why is because 2 weeks from today, at this very ice bar, he and Polly are gonna be guests on here in the ice bar, and it's gonna be a special episode talking about JRPGs. Yes. Y'all heard that right, people. Yes. So 2 weeks from today, August the 16th. July the 16th. I almost went forward a month in time there. But yes, I'm gonna be holding a special panel of this episode, and we're gonna be talking, nothing but JRPGs, what got us into it, our favorite JRPGs, so much more. And that's gonna be 2 weeks from today. I know Key, you and Lana were talking about we want to have a panel to JRPGs.
I mean, I don't even know. It's just like literally, like I have to figure out how to do it. I actually wanted to. Okay, so I wanted to, not to put all of my ideas out there. I have too many ideas, but at some point when I first started streaming, I really wanted to have like there's a name for it, but I'm not going to tell you because it's actually pretty clever, and I don't want y'all taking my idea. But essentially, we would have like a JRPG or any game you want, and we would talk about the lore of the game for the entire stream, and for the entire podcast, and like that would be it. No, Spartan, no. Like we would just like, I mean, obviously there's some format to it. I still want to do it. And I think I have a better idea of how I can do it and how I want to do it. So like, I'm going to keep it on a DL, but I think 2024, I'm going to be able to do it. And I think it's going to be very niche. Like it's going to be for people who really like that stuff. And like, that's fine. But like, I want to do it. I want to do it bad. I want to do it real bad. Real bad.
Oh,
so
I would be down to do that. And I think that's a wonderful idea. you know, like kind of like the panels they do at, you know, like conventions, but on Twitch. Kind of sort of like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, essentially.
All right. Let me catch it. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention. If you guys have a question, I do have a channel point redemption, which you can redeem if you want to ask Miss Lana Ken any questions. Any questions, you know, it can be about anything. Of course, I ask that you guys keep it PG-13 because we are a PG-13 community here. And I say PG-13 because there are occasions where, you know, something spicy could happen. But
Of course.
you know, let me catch up the chat here. And to our anonymous follower, thank you for the follow. Feel free to chat if you wish. Lana, have you played Shadow Hearts 3? Key ask.
Oh, I told him. So I have, but I started playing and then I had to stop because it you know, it just didn't hit the way I want it to. I don't want to give any spoilers though. But I'm still gonna play it because, you know, I'm gonna play it like because I love the series, so I'm gonna finish it. But yeah.
Oh, and redeem. Like what? I said redeem. Key also redeemed. He asked the question: do you like tactics RPGs?
Wait, I'm so sorry. Wait, oh my god. My very first follow and my very first mod ever just came in the chat. Hi, Specs. Oh my god. I haven't seen him in so. Specs. Is he
Hey, look at that. Look at that. Y'all show your love for Mr. Specs, everybody. Y'all welcome him to the Ice Cave. We got a little reunion going on here in the ice bar. I love it. I love to see this. I love it.
I love that man. Literally, he's the best. He literally, like, when I first started, he was always the first one in chat, and he was like, "You got this." And if I asked him for any help, he would. Just, I adore that man. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay.
No. Hey, it's all about being yourself here. You know what I'm saying? Why do I keep saying you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all good. Wait, what was the question again? One more time. I'm sorry.
Do you like tactics RPGs? Key is asking. She's taking a long pause, people. You know that. You know what that means. You know. I'm kidding, but go ahead.
I don't fully. Okay.
Ouch.
Okay. Here's my thing. Thank you, Mecca. I'm open to it because I know a lot of my friends have played it. Now, it's the same way I feel about tactics is the same way I feel about a lot of the RPGs I've been talking about. Hi Draken. I definitely prefer a certain art style. I definitely prefer a certain story. I definitely prefer a certain like vibe. And especially when I was just getting into Final Fantasy, tactics did not appeal to me. Like, it just did not. It still doesn't fully appeal to me. But I'm always willing to give something a try because, you know, but as of right now, like, it's probably just like I'll get to it, but y'all gotta convince me for real. Like, I just prefer the more realistic tones and more mature stories. Like, and I guess that's also because my very first, like, you gotta think about it. Most people's favorite Final Fantasy was like Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 4, and it was the pixelated version, which oddly enough, I love those versions. I love the 2-bit versions. That in a way does appeal to me. But like the Final Fantasy 9 style, the Final Fantasy 7 style for a long time, I just was not interested. And I think a big part of that is because Final Fantasy 8 was how I started. And so, especially back in, what was that, 2001, 1999, that was like, yo, that Final Fantasy 8 CGI still holds up to me. And then also just like the full body characters, the backdrops, like that was what I started eating with. So like, I don't know. It still takes me like a while to like be like, okay, let me get into this. I will say I have played Final Fantasy 7 and I have much more appreciation for it. I do like it. I do like Final Fantasy 7. There's points in it that do frustrate me, and I definitely kind of go like this with the story, but I get it. Like I get it now. I get it now. So that's my whole answer.
Oh, that's what's up. that is good. That is awesome. You know, some people you know, I have my own kind of preference in JRPGs as well. Uh, my preference is, you know, I'm actually gonna be honest with you. I'm with KJ on this one. I like you know something that kind of relates to realism and mature themes as well. I would also say I'm also into, how do I say this? You know, the character is kind of like I'm into like the kind of thing where, you know, it's like a character that thinks that, like, a lot of people think, nope, that he's not gonna amount to anything, but he surprises everybody.
Like the underdog.
The underdog. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Those are like probably like, if you give me any of those kind of stories in a JRPG, I'm there 100%. Those are, and
no, I'm with you.
Yeah, in regards to that, I relate to that a lot because growing up, I was always the underdog. You know, I'm the guy that, you know, everyone made fun of because I was the guy that everyone said, you know, he can't get right. He's slow in the head. He's not gonna amount to anything. And I'm not saying to throw a pity party or anything, but I was the kind of guy that, you know, you can doubt me all you want, but you doubt me enough, and you doubt me enough, and one day I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Right.
And I'm gonna come back in a way that is gonna surprise you guys.
Hell yeah.
And I feel like at this point in life, I feel like I've done just that, you know. And now, you know, my doubters are now my friends, which is crazy. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So
that's right. Let them know. That's right. Exactly, Riz. Let them know.
Legend of Legaia, Key asked.
It's on my list. I have not played, but I haven't played either yet. It's on my. Everyone says it's great. I have Legend of Legaia and also Chrono Trigger.
You have not played Chrono Trigger?
No.
What?
I have not. I've always wanted to. I just haven't. The music is fire. And I want to play Dragoon Knight. I think it's
Legend of Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon. I want to play Legend of Dragoon too. Oh my god. I actually really want to play that one.
Legaia is a top 10 RPG for me. So good. I'll have to check that out. Is that on PC? If it's on PC or PlayStation or whatever, I'll definitely check it out because I do have the PlayStation. What's it called? Premium, I think it's what it's called. But it's Premium, PlayStation Plus, Extra. I think I have that. I said the same thing. I just want to say, Lana, I'm proud of how far you've come. And Iceman, I really like your outfit. Thank you, appreciate it, Specs. And I'm definitely agree. Lana, you've come so far. Not
Specs trying to make me cry.
Everything. You're just incredible. And
I
can't. The words. There's not enough words to describe. You know how much. And I've only followed you. I've only been around you for a very short while, but I already feel the passion and the love that you do for your community and for what you've done for all of us. I can't say enough. And I think I speak for everyone when we say that we really appreciate that we've gotten to know and meet such an awesome person like yourself. Wouldn't you agree, chat? Audience, wouldn't you agree too?
Guys, please stop. I can't cry again on camera, please. You're too powerful. Your love is too powerful. No,
all
that's
right.
so kind.
Self-care complete. So Welcome back, EJ. All right, we have another question. It's Savage.
Double D Savvy, let's go.
Double D, let's go. How do y'all feel about action RPGs versus turn-based RPGs? That's a great question. That's kind of the thing that's debate that's thrown around. As far as RPGs are concerned.
Why don't you go? Because no one's gonna like my answer.
Gotcha. I will be very honest with you. I don't have a preference. I like them both equally. It really depends for me. It depends on how the gameplay is integrated and the story. So, action based, turn-based, it doesn't. To me, JRPGs are, if it's a great JRPG, no matter the gameplay, I'm there. Like I've played a lot of great action-based JRPGs. The Tales series being the prime example. I love that series to death. As a matter of fact, Tales of Vesperia, which in my opinion, well, the definitive edition rather, in my opinion, probably has the best combat system of any action RPG I've played, and I've played quite a few of them. So, best action RPG system, best story. I would say the best story and character development. I'm not gonna spoil, but Yuri, and in particular, I would also say Carol probably had the best character development I've seen in any JRPG.
Hi, SB 1987.
SB, my man, what is happening? Y'all show your love for Mr. SB. Y'all welcome to the Ice Gate, Ice Cave, Ice Bar. Y'all know one of the big supporters here. Y'all go show him some love. And as far as turn-based, I know Persona 5 Royal, as you guys know, is probably my favorite of the bunch. But also, Dragon Quest series is, by the way, Dragon Quest 11, best one. I've played, of course, y'all know I played the Mario RPG series. From the OG to the Mario Luigi, Paper Mario. Like, all of them have in common. They all have good stories. Great, the gameplay is fun, and that's what matters to me the most. So, either or for me. Like, I don't want to. I don't like really.
Yeah.
I don't have a preference. Either or. So for me, I like them both.
Okay. Well, let me spit some hot fire. I despise action-based combat.
Oh no, Lana
turn-based
Lana
combat
just poured
all
gasoline.
day.
Lana just poured gasoline to the fire, everybody.
Combat all day. Let me explain. Okay, this is why. Because very few games do it right. I have only. Thank you, Specs. Listen, very few games do it right. Okay, it really kind of depends on the what it is that you want me to get out of this gameplay. Like, how is it that this is exactly why I'm bad at action games. I'm not even gonna lie, because I like to really think out my decisions. I like to me, playing Final Fantasy or like most RPGs is like playing chess. So like I like to be able to like get all my like thoughts and ideas planned and ready to go. Now, let me say this. I think that Kingdom Hearts does a really good job of action-based combat. I think that Shadow Hearts is probably one of my favorite combat styles versions ever. I wish that it picked up a little bit faster, actually, because once you figure it out, once you understand what it is that you're doing, you can kind of move through things a little bit faster. So I think Shadow Hearts has a really good, like, almost somewhat combination of it. I also believe that Star Ocean does a really, really good job of action-based combat. I like those versions. I've had no issues with those. But Final Fantasy 13, and maybe this is also because that's the last time I played a Final Fantasy with action-based combat, because, life happened, and so, like, I had to go to college and, like, be an adult, so I stopped playing video games for 4 years. That's a mess. Final Fantasy 13 is a fucking mess. Don't lie and act like y'all know what y'all doing when y'all play that game. Don't lie like y'all know exactly how you. Oh yeah, I totally know what's happening. Look, at some point, everything is just flashing and going crazy, and you cannot tell me you don't know what is happening. You cannot tell me that. Like, I hate that. I hate it. Is that not action? What? I'm just saying, I hate it. It's just like fireworks everywhere. Whatever that is, I hate that. I didn't like that. If it's turn-based, then I don't like that version of turn-based. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I do think that there are some games that do it well. Like I said, the few that I talked about, I really, really like those. If it's done right, then I'm a fan of it. But I do like being able to to be able to get my ideas and my attacks correctly thought through. So that those are my thoughts. that's how I feel. But if I actually had to say what, and Key, because you've played this, if you agree with me, let me know. If I really had to say my favorite version of any turn-based combat period, I really think it's Shadow Hearts. I'm not even kidding you. I think that the ring system, the Judgment Ring system, is like my favorite. I really love the Judgment Ring system a lot. I've never played The Witcher, so I don't know. Same with Final Fantasy 12. I hated that. That was stupid. Lana don't care. Lana do not care.
Lana going off on a rant here, everybody. I was, that was a question. I was gonna ask what JRPG do you hate the most, but I think we all kind of sort of already answered that.
Oh no, that's not my answer. I just don't like the fighting. I don't like the fighting style. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Fair point. Has any of either of you two played Kingdom Come? I really like the combat system there. I have not either. I've never even heard of that game until actually I've never heard of the game at all, actually.
Me neither. That's interesting. I'm a fan.
All right. Y'all should play The Legend of Dragoon. That is on my list.
Same.
I'd argue either Legend of Heroes or Fire Emblem for favorite turn-based strategy franchises. I actually have to agree with that. As some of y'all know, I am streaming Cold Steel, Trails of Cold Steel. I finished the first game. It was a fantastic experience. And I'm playing the second one right now, which by the way, I'll be streaming that on Tuesday for 4th of July, by the way. So just a heads up on that. Great turn-based combat. And like it really, and I will say about turn-based combat, like what I like about it is you actually get time to plan, your strategy, and all that.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Key. Key's cracking me up right now.
I'm looking at the chat. Lana, I need you to play Legend of Legaia. What do I have to do to make this happen? Hey. So like Legend of, something? I'm kind of tempted to look that up now. Let me look this up.
Yeah,
Legend of Legaia.
I'll answer the question while you're looking it up, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
So Key, I will say this. I have a backlog that is long. I have a long backlog of games. So and that is already on the list, just so you know. So, but what has started to happen is people, I feel like I make unrealistic goals to hit for me to play a game, and then I make the goal and somebody hit it. So if you really want me to play a game, you can quote unquote sponsor. I hate saying that, but like, to be honest with you, that's the only way I can get into the top of the list because there's so many. So my lovely, wonderful, adorable friend Gunducky, everyone knows that I do not like Final Fantasy IX. Whatever, come for me, whatever. I don't like it, okay? But Gunducky, someone who's literally been with me since my second day of streaming, he decided to I made an unrealistic goal of like, I'll play it for 200 subs. He gifted 200 subs, and so I start playing Final Fantasy IX next week.
200? Like literally in one stream?
Yes. Yeah. I want this to be clear. I did not want that to happen, nor did I expect it to happen. Because who does that and who has that? There it is. So, but for Yuki, I actually would do it. Obviously, you don't have to do it like that. I probably would, if you can wait till the end of 2024 or 2023, then I'm down to play it for real. End of 2023, and I will play it for you because I love Key. Key's great. But if I hate the game, please no. Nervously raise his hand. Yeah.
Also, oh man, yo, Savage Music Man, fellow Texan, y'all show him some love. Welcome him to the Ice Bar, everybody. Look at all these cool kids. Man, look at all these cool people on the chat. Let's get
There's
it.
so many cool people here. Hi guys. Hi.
I get
Um,
now the ice bar is a lot colder because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Ice, baby.
Anyway, so I have one more question.
Yes.
Since we're in the subject of JRPGs,
Sure.
let's say Miss Lana is going to be a party member in a JRPG game.
Oh yeah, I'm already ready. Yep.
What class
Thief.
would you?
Thief.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can see that. I can really see
Thief.
that. Thief,
I have
rogue.
I have reasons, okay? Let me go to my board of reasons, okay? Clearly I think about this a lot, okay? All right, bet. So 1, I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast, okay? I'm really fast. 2, I think I have really good charisma. So think I'll be able to like definitely talk my way out of situations as well as talk my way into a lot of fun stuff. 3, Lana in games is not sneaky, but Lana in real life really has the ability to just go listen, okay, I want this for real. No one knows who I have dated or where I've like been 100% for at least the past 6 years unless I let them know. Okay, I make you guys think that I'm not sneaky, and that's part of it. Y'all don't need to know. I'm telling you. Y'all have no idea what I be cooking. All right. Thank you. I am an enigma. The only person in here who knows that this is true is EJ in the wild because she's my IRL best friend. Okay. Y'all think y'all got it. Y'all don't got it. Okay. Also because I think that I really like the idea of like making and creating my weapons from what I have to make it happen. But also, I could also go for being a brawler as well. I do be strong. I do be strong. I do be fight. I think Tifa. I definitely relate to like Tifa. I do kickboxing and I do lift. I be strong. I lift. I sprint. I work out a lot.
I seen the pictures. By the way, I proud of you for accomplishing your weight and all that. Can we get some more love from Miss Lana, everybody, for that? I know that you really work hard for your fitness goals and everything, and let me just say I'm proud of you for that. Yes, all the hype for Miss Lana, but continue.
Thanks, guys. No, yeah, I do think I could also do that as well because I take pride in being strong. Like for me, I don't like working out and being able to look a way that you like and also get healthy is great, but for me it's all about being strong. I love the feeling of being able to, like, for example, and I can't talk about it a lot, which makes me sad because a lot of it has to do with my hometown and I just don't feel comfortable talking a lot about my hometown. But we had a really great event that happened that was really big, really big deal where I come from. And so I went out with my parents last night and we had a great time and we needed to park somewhere. And so my dad goes, hey, like, can you run to the ATM so that can you drive to the ATM so that we can have cash to park, because it was like really busy where we're at. And I was just like, oh, is it over there? And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I can just sprint over there and like get it. He was just like, that's pretty far. I was like, I got it. And I sprinted over, was not out of breath, was able to get what I needed, sprinted back, all within like 5 minutes. And like being able to do those things for me, that's cool. I like that feeling. That's what I like. I like that when I go to the gym and I'm squatting, the dude next to me is like, bro. Like I like that when I'm, doing my thing, like I feel powerful. So yeah, I could be Tifa. I could totally be a brawler or something like that. Yeah. A lot of moves a car out of its spot with raw strength. It's true. Yeah, it's 1,000% what I did. Hi Donna. Hi Yan.
Miss Yan, hello. Everybody coming in. Dark Scarlet, welcome. By the way, for those that don't know, Yan successfully finished her college degree. So y'all show her some love. Everybody congratulate her on that.
That's my Twitch daughter. I'm proud of her. I love her. My Twitch daughter
And
and my Twitch son are in chat. What's up?
who's
Hi,
your
Dark
Twitch son?
Skynet. Riz, the Rizzard.
Oh, gotcha.
Go follow Riz. He's like
Yes.
the best gamer ever. Please.
Yes, go follow everyone who I shout out. Y'all go follow them and show them all the love. All right, so I lied. I have one more question since you brought
Ask
that
whatever
brought
you
up
want.
the fit.
We're good.
What's your max on squat?
Okay,
okay.
325. 325.
Say it again.
325 pounds.
Say it one more time.
325 pounds.
Can we get an applause for that? 320. That is like Wonder Woman levels of strength right there.
It used to be more, but my knees aren't as good as they used to be. So.
Yeah, like I was able to do, and my max is 335. So y'all know Marissa. Okay, those who play Street Fighter 6, y'all know who Marissa is. The big Italian bulky woman. Yeah.
Personally, I don't know how this works because I have Chinese background, but I am not Chinese, obviously. But my nickname in college in high school when I used to do track and field was Chun-Li because of the thighs. We got to keep the thighs thick for fitness.
Right. Dang. Like, and I mean, all due respect. Look at you, Lana.
Key, please.
325. That's like Amazonian levels of strength right there. Fitness, exactly.
Well, I also think I wanted to be clear. Like, also, I'm a lot more solid than what I think that people realize. Like, I'm very tall. I'm very tall, but like, there's a lot of people who, to be over 200 is considered to be like
overweight.
big or overweight. When I was in the best shape of my life, I was 181 pounds, 14% body fat. So like I'm a big girl. Like I'm 225 pounds and I worked to get down to that. So like it's different when you're bigger and you have more base to be able to like lift what it is that you're trying to lift. So I think that also equates to why I'm able to maybe push a little bit more than what the average person could. I don't lie when thank you for the D1. I knew it was coming. Like, I don't lie when I say that, like, I am a solid person. I'm a big person. And I'm also not ashamed or sad of that. I like being the size I am. I think it would be less fun if I wasn't a big girl. Girl.
I think you know the common I think that's like a common misconception, and Navasta just pointed it out. There's a difference between body fat and density, which is something that you know a lot that you know your body mass isn't taken into account for. Like for example, I'm 6'0" and I weigh 265 right now.
Yeah. Yes.
But you will look at me and you'll think, but Iceman, you know, people look at me and say, you don't look like you're 260 something pounds.
Right.
I mean, I don't, and I don't. But like, my body, I mean, it may look like I may look like I'm fat, but I just have a lot of
You don't though. You really don't.
No, I just have a lot of dense masses inside of me.
Mass. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you know that comes from you know of course eating right, you know eating the great foods and everything. Speaking of which, by the way, I just saw a Kitty Bit came in the chat. What is good,
Hi,
Sasha,
Bit.
Rory? We love you around here. Y'all show your love for them, everybody.
There go the hat.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. 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 Go.
Get it.
Oh man, I just threw the hat. I just threw the hat all the way over there. Whatever. I'll deal with.
Into
I'll deal
the
without the
abyss.
hat.
Into the abyss.
That's why Iceman is a diesel.
Yes.
Well, I'm wearing long sleeves, so y'all can't really see it. But Ball Bros Club, yes. Yeah. No hair, don't care. But anyway, yeah. So man, what a podcast, everybody. Now it's the time where we, as you guys know, we flip the script. I'm now the guest. She's now. Oh, there we go. She's now the host. So, Lana, I said to prep everything, I said you can ask me one question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about that?
I have my question. I do.
The floor is yours.
Okay. So Iceman,
Mm-hmm.
you've been in this game for quite some time,
Yes.
and you're doing a really good job. And I will say, you can tell the greatness in someone by looking at the people that surround them, and the people that surround you are wonderful, incredible people. If you had to say something to yourself, whether it be the future version of yourself a year from now or the past version of yourself a year before, which one would you pick and what would you tell them?
That is a great question. I would pick the past version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that really resonated inside of me that I would tell my past self, because as you guys know, my past, my childhood was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
And everything growing up. But at the same time, there was a pretty, by the way, thank you for the follow to our anonymous follower. There was a preconception that, if this guy's having a rough and everything, he's not gonna make it in the future. And I don't want to get all dark and everything, but there actually was a time where, my parents always told me that growing up, I was diagnosed with autism, and that I wouldn't live to live past 30. But I'm 38 and I'm here now.
Let's go! Let's go!
Thank you.
Let's
Thank you, guys.
go. Are you kidding me?
I
Tell him, Iceman. Tell him.
would say, and this is a line that I keep saying to myself every day. I would tell my younger self, the past has no present for your future.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is, and whatever you were, whatever happened in the past is in the past. But whatever you do now, what matters is what you do now is what's gonna shape your future. You control it. Just go out there and do it. People are gonna give you. People are gonna. There's gonna be a lot of stigma, a lot of opinions, and everything. But at the end of the day, that's all they are, is opinions.
That's right.
Just keep doing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's right.
Don't let the opinions. No one can define who you are except you.
Yes.
So that would be and that was something I struggled with being younger and everything. I thought everybody was right, but I never listened to myself. And it was only I would say probably until I hit my late 20s that I realized these people are not in control of my life. I'm in control of what I do.
That's right.
And then ever since then, that's what led me to finish college. I finished grad school.
Yes.
I'm here. I've been streaming for 3 years, past 3 years now.
Let's go.
And this is where I'm at today, and it's all because, I just kept pushing myself. I kept
right.
saying to myself, okay, you're not all these things that people say you are. Continue to prove them wrong. And speaking of which, there was a friend. I had a friend who would always constantly say in his socials, prove them wrong. And to that friend, unfortunately, he passed on some few years ago from atherosclerosis. Rest in peace, my friend. If you could see me today, man, you would be in tears and proud of what I've become. So, to you, my friend, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
Ice. Yes. Yes. Ah, you about to have me running around the sanctuary. Let's go. No, that is so wonderful. That is so beautiful. There is nothing better than telling your haters and the disbelievers, and not even telling them, just showing them and having it show itself of how wonderful and great you're doing. And you really are. You should be so proud of yourself. Like I said, it shows in your community and it shows in your people and it shows in your content. So great answer. And I'm proud of you. Not that I matter, but from one neurodivergent person to another, I think that's pretty awesome. So hell yeah, brother.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for this incredible episode of Chillin' Now. As I mentioned before, the next one is going to be a couple weeks, 2 weeks from today. And it's going to be a special episode dedicated to JRPGs. I'm going to shout these two individuals out. You guys just saw KJ earlier in the chat. He's going to be one of my guests. And the other guest is going to be Miss Polly Mune, if I said that name correctly.
I love Polly.
Yes,
love Polly.
yes, we love Polly so much.
Happy birthday, Polly.
And also, Eunice, hello.
Hi, Yanis. That's Yanis the Menace. That's Yanis
the Menace. I like that. So we're gonna be. So as you guys know, KJ and Polly, they have like their own podcast where they do a JRPGs called Turn-Based Tangents. They're gonna be here in the Ice Cave 2 weeks from, or Ice Bar rather, 2 weeks from today. We're gonna have a good conversation about JRPGs. You know, what are our favorites, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff. So for all my JRPG bros and sisters, y'all want to tune into that episode. And with that, thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, thank you guys for the chat. Thank you guys for all the love and everything. And now we are going to go send the love over to someone. So thank you guys. This has been an incredible stream. Probably, I'm going to say this is probably one of my top 3 podcasts I've done ever.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear. I love this. This was great. Please invite me on if you ever want to ever again. And I love talking with my people. So this was great. Yeah.
This has been amazing.
Thank y'all for coming and listening in. Y'all, this has been great. Y'all really showed out and supported today. I love y'all. Y'all are good. Thanks for coming through, y'all.
All right. So, Lana, since you're the guest, this is something I like to do. I give the guest the honor of doing. You get to decide who we are going to raid out to. So everybody, spam that raid message. I'm going to go ahead and pin it in the chat as well. Go ahead and spam that raid message to whoever Lana decides to be raid to. We're going to show them all the love.
Now, let's see. I know exactly where we're going.
Oh, all right. Where are we going?
We are going to go show the love. Let me make sure that they're still live. I just saw their name, but okay. We're going to go to Versa Vulture 24. I adore her.
Oh, Versa. You know Versa? Yo.
I do. Yes, I adore. She actually was going to be part of the raid train, but she couldn't do it because her work was just not letting it fit her schedule. But I love her. I think she is so talented. She also has invited me to be on her podcast too. So I'm like, we gotta go give the love to her.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Versa and so much. And as Lana Kane has suggested, as you know, Versa, who one of my VIPs as well. She's been on on my streams a lot. Lawyer King showing the love. Let's go ahead and go send the love over to her via Miss Lana. Y'all gonna love Versa so much.
Yes. Let's go get a love.
Let's go send the love over to Miss Versa, everybody. Everybody, you guys take care. This has been a huge W podcast. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you guys for the love. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow. And I'll be streaming actually doing a cooking stream because one of my mods redeemed that. So I'm going to make it a souffle from scratch.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll see you guys in the kitchen tomorrow. Y'all take care, everybody. Much love. Stay icy, my friends. Take care.
Bye.